the large exec car sector has been dominated for years and years by the three big German car manufacturers. BMW with its 5 Series, Mercedes with the E-Class, and Audi with the A6. The majority of which have been bought largely new through company car schemes. But with the transition to electrification, with the restrictions on EU legislation with emissions, the cost of owning a company car on any petrol or, dare I say, diesel engine car has been prohibitively expensive through taxation, benefit in kind, company car tax. So there's been a transition in this sector to plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, PHEVs. BMW and Mercedes both went there many years ago, but it was not until late 2020, early 2021 that Audi eventually moved into this market with the A6 TFSIe plug-in hybrid. And this week we're lucky enough to get his hands on this 2023 Audi A6 Avant 50 TFSI E S-Line Black Edition. Welcome to this week's Fast and Fun. So this is the 5th generation A6. Been around many, many years. This 5th generation, codenamed the C8, came out in 2018. It was a couple of years before the PHEV, the TFSIe, was released. And then in, say, late 2020, early 2021, and you had to wait, and that was only in saloon, you had to wait even longer before the Avant came out. And so this is a 2023, nicely stacked as well, being S-Line, being a Black Edition. We'll talk through some of those options in that car. But essentially what this is a 4-cylinder, 2-litre petrol engine packed in with a battery which is tucked under the rear boot, combined giving just under, well, around 300 brake horsepower and just over 332 pounds-feet of torque, mated to a 7-speed twin-clutch DSG or S-tronic gearbox. And Audi was always the oddball. Where Mercedes and BMW had focused on rear-wheel drive, Audi had obviously the Quattro system. And it'd be intriguing to see how this Quattro, with the added additional weight of the batteries, around about 250 kilograms in the boot, takes this car now to well over 2,000 kilograms in weight. What does that do? Does that still, with the 300 brake horsepower, does that stun? Does that limit the fun that you can have in this car? Well, 0 to 60 wouldn't necessarily say that, around about 5.5 seconds. And speaking to the owner, the battery pack now, he's getting around about low 30s on EV range. During the summer months, winter it drops to the sort of the high 20s. So he's seeing a little bit of degradation due to temperature. That's much better if, when I first started YouTube and I covered my Mercedes 350e plug-in hybrid, that was officially 19, and actually I was only getting in real world somewhere around about 12. So certainly the plug-in hybrid technology has definitely moved on just in the last few years. This is set off with this stunning red colour, huge 20-inch alloys on this particular S-Line edition. Say it's fully stacked, 3 lovely glass instrument displays, which we'll have a look at inside. But again, the owner has also indicated that this car is eating tyres. That is exactly the same issue that I had with my Mercedes 350e from a few years ago. 2 reasons predominantly. One is the weight. These are big, heavy cars. And 2 is because you've got that electric backup, that electric get you off the line before the petrol motor kicks in, then you've got that low down performance. And if you use it spiritedly, that can certainly eat tyres. Okay, what I'm going to do now is take a quick walk around the car, have a look at some of the key features of this plug-in hybrid, and then we'll take it out on some of, well, the owner's favourite roads, not necessarily mine. So just take a quick look at some of the key features here. The renowned Audi grille that's been with us now for what's the last 6-7 years really, and I think Audi does offer, that offers that quattro system, that assurance of four-wheel drive compared to its key competitors, the rear-wheel drive boys from BMW and Mercedes. It's quite a hard chiselled edges here. The soft curves of the Audis have definitely gone. Recent years they've become more sort of angular, harder edged. Don't know if this is actually a real brake vent. Perhaps it is, although this is all fake. These front vents here all completely locked off, but again the black and the red matches quite nicely. If you come round the side, look at the size of these alloys. So look, sort of an anthracite, diamond cut anthracite, 20-inch alloys, huge. Even look at the size of the calipers. They look like 6-piston. I think they're 6-piston calipers there. Huge, and that's probably due to the weight of this particular model. The subtle badges of the S-line there. Look at the side of the car. The thing that you do notice with the Avant is it is almost like a sportsback. It's rear window, heavily angled, not a traditional estate car, which would be much more upright and vertical. So, and that does obviously limit a little bit of the boot space of the Avant. If we take a look into the back, both the driver's and passenger seats are in my position, and I can comfortably sit in the back there. So this is a proper full 5-seater car here. This is the plug-in electrical connector. That's the giveaway that this is a PHEV, because actually, other than some very subtle badging, you would not know. There, the very small little E in saying that this has got the battery. This is the TFSIe. That's really the only one that demarcates this off just a standard petrol. And there you can see the impact of having the battery under here, where it would normally traditionally drop down. You've now got this lip here up, and that's because you've got probably 200 to 300 kilos of battery in there over the rear wheels. But it is the typical Avant, very long, deep boot. You've just got to be conscious of that sloped back rear tailgate. There is if I can reach through there is a guard there that you can step up to, either for dogs or for passengers. Electric closing, which is kind of quite nice as well. So if we take a look in the front here, very, very premium. These half leather, half sort of suede Alcantara finish with the S-line emblem embedded. Not a great fan of the light colour, and at first glance, where this suede sits, it looks like it's been marked, but it's not. It's just the actual way the suede moves. Just at first glance, you think, oh, it looks badly marked, and it's not at all. And then the dash, and I always think here, these, 3 glass displays, one through the steering wheel and the 2 that you get in the A6. It just looks absolutely premium quality. What this black ages like, I had something similar on my Mercedes 350e that can show marks. Dust seems to attract that as well. But you look at some of the other parts of the car, this sort of carbon here that runs along, and it just feels absolutely premium quality. Even you go into the door cards here, the carbon, you've got memory seats here, full electrics as you would expect as well, and your release for the fuel and the rear tailgate. And just in case you forgot, as you step across the sill, it's reminding you that you're in the S-Line, the premium version. Okay, I'll show you more of the functionality of the car once we take it out for a drive. So let's get out on to some roads here and just test what this plug-in hybrid is like now. So, get myself into this. Oh, I like the smell of a newish car for me. And straight away, it feels a really nice place to sit here. The sort of leather-clad, dimpled, almost sort of flat-bottomed S-Line steering wheel. Few buttons on the steering wheel, but not excessive, and with everything off, just a complete screen of just black screens everywhere here. So just going to start, and the great thing when you start a PHEV obviously is there's no engine start again. Oh, and we've just got a fault there with regard to the SOS, so I'll just hopefully that'll clear itself shortly. You've got the normal main display is at the top of the centre console. The second display below has got the heating and all the sort of the in-car elements. Bum warmers are in there, fan speed, air conditioning, etc. And then in front of you, you've got a very much a configurable dash. We've got at the moment, because it's in EV mode, you've got the percentage of power that you're using in regard to EV, charge status and speed on the right, and a whole host of other information there. So I think once we get on the road, you can join us once we're going along. To start with in EV mode, there's various modes in here, but I'll take you through those as we drive along. Okay. You'll join me in a few minutes.